Hi, welcome to Stitch Party of One. My name is Darling King, and this is my fifth Flosstube. Um, it's been a few weeks. I've been very busy with the yard, dealing with some leftovers from last year. And if you don't mind, I'd like to insert some pictures right here. I will try. These are areas that I cleared last year. And I still have branches and stuff left over that I'm breaking down and putting on the curb and so forth. So in addition to trying to keep the grass mowed between all the rainstorms that have been through this week, so I've kept some weird hours, folks. If I look a little run down, been wearing myself out, and when I'm not wearing myself out, I'm recovering from wearing myself out. But I have got some stitching in since the month started. I did do MAYnia, and I have 4 of my projects are gifts, and the people do watch. So I can't show them. I'm happy to say that I've finished 2 of them, and they are currently soaking in some cool water and some light soap. And once I get those pressed, dried and pressed, I will take pictures so I can insert them later after they've been given. So that's 4 that I started for MAYnia. And then, let's see. And I finished up an old project. I saw this at the store when I was working at it. And the expression on that bear, it just looked like he was saying, "What the hell?" So I just had to do him. And I messed up a little bit on him, and I can see where I messed up now, but at the time I couldn't. And so I just left it on there. It looks like he's twitching an eyebrow. And of course I added the, see what? So I got him done. He's been sitting around for a while because I was disgusted that I messed him up. This is one of my smalls. This is Needle Magic, Trick or Treat. And I haven't gotten very far on this one, but I'll tell you, these little bats are so cute. I want to stitch them on everything. I stitched these up, had so much fun. Stitched the first one, had so much fun, had to stitch another, and then I had to put it down for the day. And I said, I want to stitch these on everything. They're cute as can be. So I will definitely be keeping this kit. I started my Wizard Now MAYnia. Oh, there we go. And it's the moon and a bunny. How could I pass that up? It's a sleeping, and he's sleeping so. But that's all I've got done so far. This is the largest project I started for MAYnia. And I am doing this in colors. So I've got my variegated green. And these are all DMCs, folks. Blue for my ribbon. And of course, I've got some threads to blend for the body of the bee. And this is how far I've gotten. And this fabric is really, really, really pale green. I really like it. And this is a handmade needle minder. I don't know if you can read it. It says "Rockin' It Old Style." I laughed because Cheryl called me an old style stitcher. Old style stitcher. And I thought of that, and I said, I gotta put that on my next project. Let's see. Oh, even though I didn't get started on it yet, I did pull the colors for Bernard, though he's going to be Bernice. I have these colors. I'm sorry, you can't see them very well, but they're two purples for the scarf and hat. And then I needed, this is the regular color for the tree. And the bauble on the tree, which I really didn't want as Christmassy as it is, but I picked my 996. I love this color, so I use a lot. And instead of the dark, what was it they called it? Sweet potato, I'm using 722. Because I've yet to meet a carrot that looks like a sweet potato. So I haven't started him yet. He was supposed to be part of my MAYnia starts. I have picked the colors. Also for my MAYnia starts, I was planning to start this one. But I haven't started her yet. So all in all, that makes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 starts for MAYnia. And I have to laugh because my stitchy buddy, come on in, take your time. Take your time. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. If I don't let him in, he'll just scrape until he gets there. I am so jelly of the people going to the New Jersey retreat this weekend. But I have my own retreat this weekend at my sister Candace's. It is so early in the morning for me because I keep weird hours. And I saw that I was making my coffee, and and I looked at the clock, and I looked outside, and I said, "It is morning, right?" That's how much rain we've had, folks. I mean, it's just been ridiculous. And I need to get that grass mowed. I finished up the backyard yesterday, in between rain showers. And then I hosed down the mower. I apologize. I am just so tired this morning. Got a lot of washing to do. Like I said, I am going to my sister Candace's, and I'm going to visit with her and my cousin Buddy. And I'm definitely going to take my stitching. I always take my stitching. There's just no question about it. But they're used to me. My second cousin Buddy's daughter, she stitches also, so I don't know how prevalent she is, but I've always got my needle flying while I'm talking with them and stuff. So as far as the pictures, The areas I did last year were severely overgrown, and I cleared them all out, and you couldn't even see the fences. So that was a big accomplishment, and I've been trying to keep everything from growing back since I've gotten back out there this year. And Cheryl said that I garden, which I can garden. Well, I can too, but I don't really so much. Just a couple plants. But I'm quite talented at deforestation, apparently. Even my husband was impressed. But it has been taking up a lot of my time, and late at night, if I can't sleep, I'll be in here watching Flosstube and catching up on my stitching when I can. So I'm really excited about this weekend. I thought I might do one of the tags, if that's all right. I've got the stitching style tag up. This is by Pam Reed, and it's on Trisha the Left-Handed Stitcher's website. And it says, what is your favorite fabric? MAYnia or Lugana, MAYnia 14 count or Lugana 28 count. Do you use a hoop or frame? Honey, I use whatever I want. I even found myself stitching in hand this week. And it just went, it just flew. Stitching in hand. It depends on what I'm doing and what I need, that sort of thing. I try to use a stand whenever possible. I usually hold it in hand or hold my frames in hand, but I do try to use a stand because I get tired, especially with the Q-snip. I apologize. What's my favorite time to stitch? Anytime. Generally at night. I do like to watch some TV or Flosstube. Still counts. It's on my TV. But generally at night, usually when it's quiet. But anytime I have a chance. It says, do you use a printed paper copy of your chart or digital? I'm flexible, except I don't have something portable that I can use digital on, so mostly it's printed paper. Am I a floss licker? Not generally. As I mentioned in a previous video, I use my Floss Buddy, which is a damp sponge. So I'm not, only in a pinch. Do I hoard or buy supplies as needed? I used to get things as needed, but then I purchased a lot of fabric from a friend back several years ago, and it's gotten to the hoarding part now because I got like 2 storage containers, one full of MAYnia and the other full of even weaves. So I've kind of switched. What is your favorite floss? DMC, without a doubt. I like Weeks Dye Works variegateds in a pinch, but I find that anytime I use a lot of it, I always have to buy 2 skeins, you know. So I basically stick with DMC. Am I a serial starter, or do I have a whip at a time? I usually work on about 3 projects at a time. I'm not a serial starter, and I'm not a single, but I do tend to switch off on at least 3 at a time. Do I have more FFOs or UFOs? Come on. I have a huge box of shame, which I will go through at some other time. Do I watch TV while stitching? I already answered that one. Do you mostly stitch alone, or do you get together with other stitchers? I do get together with other stitchers. However, I usually stitch alone, which is why I am Stitch Party 1. In fact, I was so tired from the yard work and stuff yesterday, I missed my monthly Sterling Stitch. Yeah, I was just exhausted. Do you like to experiment and alter things with your charts, or do you just stitch them as written? I'm considered a rebel in my main stitch group because I have always just done what I wanted. I change things up, I look at things, I pick and choose from different charts and slap them all together. I have a lot of charts hanging around that I will never do the actual chart, but I have them around because there's something within them, a raven, or like the little bats, or that I want to keep for projects that I have in mind, or that I have in mind, or just in case, because somewhere in my mind I'm going to do something that's going to require that. Do I bobbinate floss or not? I started out bobbinating way back in the day and decided life was too short, and I switched to the bags. And I'm getting to the point where the bags are becoming a pain, and I'm looking into other options. I spoke with Minnie from All X's about her method, and it sounds pretty good. But it will require a major revision, and I'm not ready to do that at this time. Do you start a project in the middle of your fabric or at the corner? I like to stitch from the top down, but I start in the middle. So that's a little difficult. I think the floss flows better if you're going from top to bottom, but I'm not really good with that whole measurement thing. So I just, if I have the piece of cloth and it's the right size, I'd rather start in the middle. Do I have a whip rotation? Absolutely not. Do you use a timekeeper? That would imply that I'm organized. No, I live in chaos. It's like semi-organized chaos. Do you use the parking technique? I use a different parking technique than what I've seen others using, which means if I have something that's, how do I say this? If I have something that has a lot of, help me out, people. If I have something that's, I can't think of the word, confetti heavy, yes, confetti heavy, I will do a section and then park my thread out of the way, and I will have another needle, and I will go under in the back to the next section. I don't like trailing threads. I'm very particular. In fact, I will show you. That's the back side of my little bear. And there was a lot of confetti in him. And I don't, I have a thing with turning stitches. I worry that they're going to snag on something or get pulled. So that's my parking technique, is I park and then I pull the next thing and I run it under to where it needs to go. And that's how I did the cat that I showed the memorial piece for. I did that leaf cover on the bottom, and that's how I did that. I run my threads underneath. I've tried to show my sister Brenda wanted to know how I kept my back so neat, and I tried to show her some of my tricks, and she said they were too complicated and took too much time. Do I keep my orts? I try. And by try means I do. I don't put them in. I have a little baggie that has a bunch of orts from years ago, and I just keep adding to the little bag. I tried to keep orts like at a getaway, and the ladies tossed them in the trash. I had a little special bowl and everything, and they just tossed them in the trash, so I was very upset. Do I like to have a snack or drink while stitching? Definitely. In fact, I forgot to mention when I showed my Danny the Stitching Dragon, part of my personalization is I've got, there was a blank space like down in the lower left of the piece, and I stitched a glass of iced tea. I've always got a drink, whether it's water, tea, coffee. I just, it's dry work working with all that material, right? So that's the end of the stitching style tag. Meant to say that I did miss my Sterling Stitch meetup last night, but I did get with the Northern Virginia Stitchers this past Saturday, and I got to meet some other Flosstubers. I got to meet All Spoons No Forks, otherwise known as Darlene. Yes, another Darlene. And I met with Sarah Ziegmont, who doesn't have Flosstube, but she does have Instagram. And Amy Loves Toads, wonderful lady. And Caitlin White. She is Caitlin in Stitches. And of course, Letitia Beckett. And I'm sorry, Letitia, I can't think of your name. Minnie of All X's, Stephanie, Miss Orsa Crafty, and Jessie Marie were all there. And it was a very nice time. I didn't get to spend the whole day with them like I planned. Again, with the yard work, I've just been too tired, and my sleep's been all messed up. And I tried, but I did get to spend a couple hours with them. And since coming back, I have watched all of Darlene, aka All Spoons No Forks, and Amy Loves Toads' videos, and I gotta say, I have a lot in common with these ladies. I'd like to see more of them. So that's pretty much it for this one. I want to say thank you for everyone who's watched my videos, who's subscribed. I'm tickled to say that my family is watching my videos. I've gotten a lot of good reviews even for family. So I'm really sorry it took me so long to get this one out. I had done one and had technical difficulties, and I was trying to do some editing, had some technical difficulties, and which have since been resolved. But I started to go back through it, and even I was bored. So I figured, I'm taking this out. But yeah, all I can say is keep stitching, ladies. And thank you for all the nice videos I've been watching while I've been stitching in my off hours. And I hope you've had a nice week if you're here in the Northeast. Despite the rain, because I feel like we're going through April again. I have found out that my cats don't like thunderstorms. We had the first one rolled through this week, and they just all went poof. And my husband said it was one of the funniest things he'd ever seen, but bless their hearts. It took me hours to get them to come out of their little hidey holes. So, thank you again for watching, and I hope that your week is good. To the people who are at the New Jersey retreat, I'm meeting my own person from New Jersey this weekend. Hi, buddy. And I'm looking forward to it. So I hope all of you have a nice weekend, and as I said before, keep stitching, keep creating that beautiful art, and I will too. So until next time, this is Darlene King saying bye.